What if I told you that I have the time machine to rewind myself 3 years ago when I first started this fitness journey? Well, you will probably not gonna believe me. But if you're totally new on your fitness journey and having the goal to train purely for aesthetics, then I got the knowledge time machine right here on this video so that I could help you time skip 3 whole years of working out experience for aesthetics so that you won't waste your time on the mistake that I have made and have every single knowledge of mine packed in these 3 years. So let me tell you guys a story. When I first started to work out, I didn't start working out for any super big motivation or any noble reason at all. The only reason I decided to start changing myself and packed on some muscles, it is just because my ex just dumped me for a dude who looks leaner, who got a better jawline, and who looks like he got that TikTok boy physique. Purely, he was more attractive than me. Well, personally, I think now I'm more attractive than him, but that's another story. So, purely just because of that reason, I got pissed. I started to think to myself that, what the fuck? Why would she leave a totally healthy relationship just for someone who looks better than me? People says that look doesn't matter, right? People shouldn't leave each other just because of looks. But why does this happen to me? Did I do anything wrong? Well, it turns out yes, it's not just because he's more attractive. Maybe that's one part of my fault. But all of the people that says, oh, attractiveness doesn't matter, bro, no one would judge you because you're ugly or something like that, is speaking BS. They're all full of shit. But back then, I actually believed them. I actually think that, maybe she texts me that she doesn't love me anymore, or she's just not attracted to me anymore, and that's true. So I just stay in my room, play 16 hours of League of Legends, and then continue that day after day after day. With that, eating some ultra-processed, disgusting garbage, and telling myself what they have told me that looks doesn't matter, bro. It's okay. She doesn't left you because you're ugly, man. And I know that inside of myself, I should shut the fuck up also. Because truly, deep inside of me, I know they're speaking bullshit. And I know that attractiveness matter. And she dumped me because I was a lazy, ugly motherfucker. And that reason that she is not attracted to me anymore. So that got me pissed. And actually thinking to myself that, damn, attractiveness also fucking matters. And why the fuck would I judge my own goals and play video games like that if I didn't even take action on that goal in the first place and see if it's shallow or not with my own action? I don't even know what the fuck a bench press even is. Does truly that every single quality of mine matters more than every single quality of mine plus some arm veins? I don't think so. Having some arm veins and looking more attractive would boost my confidence and my attractiveness and maybe even how people treat me in the first place. The same people that says that this goal is shallow may just text some hot dude right now while judging me. I was just afraid of admitting to myself that I want to be attractive. So after a while of just listening to people judging me, I said, fuck this, let's take action. But the truth is, a young teenager, 15-year-old, who only has a thought in his mind that, okay, fuck the society, I want to be hotter. What do I do now? Everyone who started has the clear goal in their mind, my dude. Whether it's to get stronger, build more muscle, or to get harder like me. But they don't know what the fuck to do. And I have made a lot of mistakes. Meanwhile also, I had all this pain and anger and stuff. And I was just throwing it onto the wrong stuff. Like porn, self-harming, 16 hours of leaks, like I said. Those are the clear mistakes. Taking action is the first thing that wasn't a mistake of mine. But during that taking action period, there's a lot of mistakes I have also made. Some of these literally slow me down for months and almost has made me giving up. So let me help you with those pain by going through those 3 biggest mistakes that I have made in my fitness journey to get aesthetic. Mistake number 1 is training for too long in the gym. Yes, training doesn't have to be a 3-hour-long session, testing out every single machine, doing everything like it's a laboratory. Of course, you have to learn the machine at the beginning phase of your fitness journey. You have to know how the form works, how the muscle even feels when you're moving that in the first place. But it doesn't have to be dragging so long away until 2 months, 3 months after you have known the fundamentals of every single exercises. You still do that same routine. You still waste 3 hours of your time training every single muscle group equally with the same amount of set and then not do anything else with your life besides fitness. Well, the truth is, to actually get aesthetics, there are something you need to prioritize while you do your training session. You don't have to train every single thing so that it balances out. There are things you need to prioritize on to actually make your body look like a V-taper. What is a V-taper? A V-taper basically is the primarily attractive look of a man. It's like the hourglass shape of a woman. A V-taper, when people look at your back, they say, oh, that dude's a man, that dude's hot. It's just primarily attractive in our mind. So to actually get that V-taper pops in your body, you need to focus on the 9 main aesthetic muscle group, not training every single other muscle group the same. And those 9 main aesthetic muscle groups are the neck, upper traps, upper chest, lateral delts, lats, bicep, tricep, forearms, and abs. Those are the 9 main aesthetic muscle groups, and if you train them a little bit more than the other muscle groups, yes, I'm not saying that you should just dump every single other muscle group and don't train it at all and just train these 9 aesthetic muscle groups. No, still trains them, but prioritize those 9 aesthetic muscle groups a little bit more so that it could pop out more in your physique. So that doesn't look like you have to prioritize every single muscle group. Spend some time more on those muscle groups, and later on I will show you how I would prioritize those muscle groups on my training routine. But you need to know that if you want to get aesthetic, you have to prioritize those 9 main aesthetic muscle groups and not waste 3 hours in the gym training like a bodybuilder. Mistake number 2. This mistake also applies when you're trying to lose weight. Ooh, why did I say it's related to losing weight? It's because you're not eating enough. Yes, even when you're having a calorie deficit, you're not eating enough. The truth is, even when you're in a calorie deficit, which is a fat loss diet, there are a sweet spot you should tackle down when it comes to a fat loss diet. Your body is smart. It's a smart motherfucker. If you put in less fuel, your body knows that, oh, we're in danger mode. Let's go on the battery saver mode on the body. So basically, you would actually be programmed to spend less energy throughout the day. That could look like your body gives you less energy, makes you move less, overall leads to a lower metabolism. And metabolism is what actually burns calories the most. So if your metabolism tanks down, you would have to tank down even more on the foods you eat throughout the day. And that would make your diet even more miserable. Now you have already eaten less, now you have to eat even less. Oh, that's not really good, right? So even on a fat loss diet, you would need to eat more, at least to the sweet spot when it comes to fat loss. And of course, if you're bulking and you're not eating enough, what are you doing? So to make it simple for you, here's an actionable step. If you want to know what is the sweet spot when it comes to a calorie deficit for you to lose fat and not tank down your metabolism, I have a link down in the description down below, which you need to enter your information like your age, your height, your activity levels, all sort of stuff like that. And after you have entered all that, it will give you a rough estimated numbers of calories you have to eat in a day to maintain your weight. And also the recommended amount of calories that I personally recommend if you're trying to lose fat quick or to slowly gain muscle. It's all there on the description down below. It's a free Google Sheet files. Just go on to that link, enter your email address, and I will make sure to personally send you that Google Sheet document so that you could know the starting line of your goals, whether it's to gain weight or to lose weight. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I have also made, which related to mentally, is that comparing wrong. Why do I say comparing wrong? Don't people always say that comparison is the thief of joy? So basically you shouldn't compare at all. No, that's not what I mean. You should still compare, but don't compare wrong. Like, I remember one day when I just hit the gym and I had one of the best pumps ever in my life. I feel great. I was posing the gym, seeing that new muscle I just packed, feeling great. And then behind me, there's a dude who benched 200 kilograms, which is 405 in pounds or something like that. What the fuck is a pound? I don't know. I'm just kidding. But he was benching 200 kilograms. And I was saying that, what the fuck? He's benching 200 kilograms. Who the fuck would have that much strength to actually push that much weight off his chest in the first place? Am I training wrong? Or am I a piece of shit? Am I just a fucking weakling? He's not even training as long as me. Of course, those are all the thoughts in my mind. But what I don't actually know is, maybe his training regimen is different from me and he's not actually training to maximize aestheticness. He's training to maximize strength maybe. And also, maybe he's like 10 years into this fitness journey and he has been benching for so long, slowly progressive overload for years. And then a lot more factors that could affect this, like maybe he's heavier than me or stuff like that. So much factors. But I just look at the result of him right away. And the result of him isn't even the one that I'm trying to chase. I'm not trying to chase strength. I'm not trying to chase to grow every single muscle balancedly like a bodybuilder. I'm trying to chase having an aesthetic physique. But I just look at him, he's strong, so I'm a piece of shit now. No. You should compare yourself to the people who are actually on the same goals as you, but they should have like almost the same skill level as you, maybe a bit higher, so that it could be reasonably achieved. Still makes you pissed, but reasonable enough so that you can strive for it and not like go into a so negative mental loophole. And then when you compare to him, you actually feel motivated instead of feeling like a piece of shit and say, oh, I should skip the gym, man. I should quit altogether. This sport is not for me. Nah, bro. Alright, so now this is the part that you have been waiting for. Now I had the key to enter into my time machine, and whoosh, I'm going back 3 years ago. What would I do to my younger self? First thing I would do is I slap the shit out of him because he's a stupid motherfucker. Just kidding. He's doing well. But even though he's doing well, there's something that I would tweak to his workout routine right here. Number one is I would make his training frequency more spaced out. Like he shouldn't be thinking too much about training frequency. And how big is this gap? It's 2 to 6 times a week. 2 to 6 days a week can maximize your gains when it comes to aesthetics. Why is this the case? Because science has actually shown that from training 1 time a week per muscle group up to 2 times a week per muscle group will literally 1.5 times your gains. So if I just bump up the training frequency from 1 time to 2 times a week while giving those muscle group enough time to rest, I would be getting massive gains with the same amount of sets and the amount of time I spend in the gym, by the way. So why 2 to 6 times a week? Why not like 4 to 5 times a week? Now, why not closer? Because I could train full body 2 times a week, still hit every single muscle group 2 times, and I could split it up into push-pull legs, maybe 6 days a week, because 1, I cannot force a young man who's busy, maybe he got like personal work life, school life, all sort of stuff like that, to train so much when he doesn't have the time to. And 2, I could not ban a young man from actually wanting to train more, right? So 2 to 6 times a week can cover up. He has no excuse to skip the gym or to not work out. And even in the phase that he's like super motivated, he still has that time to actually, boom, I'm going to work hard, so he gets to work hard. With that training frequency, I would tell him to focus on the 9 main aesthetic muscle group, like I said before. Just add in like 1 to 2 more sets compared to the other muscle groups to failure, or bump up the training frequency even more from 2 times a week to even 3 times a week if he got the time to train. The second thing I would do to him is stop lifting mindlessly. Actually, tracking your lift, make it as data, and actually track if your progressive overload through your workout or not would be very nice. Because you would actually know if you're actually making progress or not. If you're slowly getting stronger, no need to like get massively strong after 1 day. But if the scale, the graph slowly goes up, then you're actually packing on more muscle and getting stronger. So track your lift. Maybe today you did 6 reps, and for this amount of weight, with this good of form. 3 things I would track is how good your form is today, how much weight you lift, and how much reps you do, how much set also. So if I track all that and one of these 4 elements goes up, then that's good. Try to do the same thing for the next day and the next day and the next day after every single day. If there are some small going up, that's good. Of course, there are some days that it will be tanked down, maybe someday he doesn't feel like it. That is totally fine also. And if that is not like a 1 week or like 1 month thing that actually makes him slowly goes down, then he shouldn't worry too much about it. There are some off days there and then. But try to focus on these 4 things you can progressively overload on, which is set, reps, weights, and techniques. And the last thing, this may be controversial, but the last thing I would advise him to do is stop doing cardio for fat loss. Yes, I said it. Cardio for fat loss is overrated as fuck. So let's imagine this, right? Why do I say cardio is overrated as fuck? Let's imagine I do 30 minutes of cardio, moderate intensity, so that it doesn't fry my muscle too much, so that there's no gains gained after my workout, and I'm mentally stable after doing that cardio session. So 30 minutes of moderate cardio gives me around 200 calorie deficit. So what can I get with 200 calories? Let's take that like money, like that's a budget of mine. 200 calories gets me around 150 grams of rice. Wow. That's a boiled rice. It's a normal boiled rice in here in Asia. And I would just eat that bowl of rice after being so hungry and being on a calorie deficit for so long. It's gone in 10 seconds. And so 30 minutes of my life trade for 10 seconds of chewing white rice. That's quite not a good deal for me. With that 30 minutes, I could rest, recover my mental energy, actually get less fatigue both mentally and physically, and actually enjoy my life more and not get tired of fitness. I'm like, oh, I have to do cardio after this whole weight training even though I'm tired as fuck. I don't have to do that cardio. All I have to do is just not eat that bowl of rice, and then I got 200 calories saved without 30 minutes of so much stress and fatigue. So basically, why I say cardio is overrated for my younger self is that my younger self could focus more, put more effort on controlling his diet, and then use that precious time, that time of youth of him, to actually maybe, build a business, study more, do whatever the fuck else that would level up himself in the future rather than just walking on the treadmills that he could save with just not eating a bowl of rice, which probably will not fill him that much. Maybe he could replace around 400 calories of rice into like 100 calories of rice and like 100 calories of, leafy greens, and then the volume would be the same. So he could save 30 minutes of his life, devote himself into something that will boost his potential up, and actually still lose that same amount of fat without fatiguing himself to the death. So yeah, that is the last tip I would give if I had that time machine to go back 3 years ago and slap into my younger self face and say, stop doing cardio purely for fat loss. Control your diet because that is like 90% of the way. So what I want to say in this video is that you don't need to be the best lifter in the world or become the strongest person in the gym to be aesthetic. You just need the knowledge that your younger self needed 3 years ago maybe at the start of your fitness journey. And then your future self would thank you for that, because only with that amount of knowledge, your future self time would be saved by so much month just by not having those mistakes. And remember this, a man learns from his own mistake. A wise man learns from the mistake of others. So be that wise man and learn from the mistake of mine. Get yourself that knowledge time machine so your future self could be thankful for that. And if you want the knowledge of the people who are already becoming the future version of themselves, including me, I have made a community that is safe for us young men, the young men who want to train for aesthetics, so that they can learn more, not be judged, and feel welcome for being honest with their goal. It's in the top link description down below. We got weekly accountability calls, courses, a brotherhood, much more. It's in the top link description down below if you're interested in that. And if you think you know which type of body is the most attractive, click on this video because you may be proven wrong.